How's it going, guys? It's Epsillon here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the rewards from doing 120 archaeology in the form of course, the Tetracompass ancient caskets, and we're going to be opening 25 right now in today's video. Without further ado, let's get into them. Now then, let's first start off with the 13 ancient caskets we've got in the inventory, and then we'll move on to the other 12 that we've currently got. So let's get right into it. Let's open the first one, and of course we got 2.6 million. The key thing that I used during double XP was actually farming out a ton of these, where we can effectively just open up a ton of these caskets and hopefully get some extra pieces. So we're getting crystal Triskelions, which is nice, and of course in there you get clue scrolls, which are also quite nice. And so you can just like add these to the total value of what you're going to expect to get on top of the actual value, which is 2 million. And we're actually just slightly losing money on making the artifacts that were required to be able to use these. Now, I did use Red Rum Relics even, number 3, which requires like 119 archaeology to be able to complete. So we had to actually buy some bank space to kind of sort out this so we can actually do this. But of course, we can continue opening them. Now, one thing that I really want to highlight to you guys is, of course, when you're purchasing the actual materials to go into the artifacts, it's costing me about 2.6 million to be able to do every single casket, or at least complete one Red Rum Relics 3. Of course, there's 4 of them. I think I lost about 400,000 per one, so every single one we open is costing us 1.6 million, so you're making 2.3 million back. But of course, within this, you're getting extras, which can be effectively turned into chronotes by actually using them and completing these artifacts that you get along with actually completing the master clue scrolls. You know, you can use the crystal keys and everything like that as well. So it's all about kind of conjoining everything, and actually you end up with earning probably like 3 million every single casket, and that of course relies upon you not getting any kind of high tier rewards. Now, we haven't got lucky with any of the kind of extras that you can get as part of these, which come in the form of the Dragon Mattock, and of course if you get super lucky, you can get the kind of super rare reward, which is Guildmaster Tony's Mattock. Now that is very rare to actually get, so it's unlikely that we're going to be able to get that. But you can see here also getting a ton of materials. You can get extra kind of the XP boosters and kind of boosters that are going to be increasing when you're actually using the skill itself. You can see we're getting Onyx Dust, and there's lots of them. We'll do a full compilation of all of the rewards that you get from these at the end of this video, so you can kind of see that. And you can see, you know, every single one is granting us a ton of GP, and we're going to be able to earn hopefully a decent chunk of money, since archaeology has cost me an absolute fortune to be able to grind out the 120 in as quickly time as possible, because I was just using Soma, so I wasn't ending up actually getting any of the kind of soil, which means I was spending more on materials every single time, which, to be honest with you, was probably worth it just to get the additional artifacts and the boost from kind of converting the soil into extra kind of precision. But nonetheless, here, one thing I wanted to note is that you get binding contracts, which are super expensive if you wanted to actually get them. And in fact, 50 of these would probably cost you in the region of about 1 million for that drop. So it's really nice that you're getting these. And if you then go on to use Ripper Demons, which I've done a video on, and you can actually go and check that out, you can earn like tons and tons of GP an hour. I think it's something like 20 million an hour, which is amazing. So yeah, if you take these, effectively you're not costing yourself anything when doing Ripper Demons. So yeah, it's amplifying how much you're making an hour there. So I really do implore you to actually grind out archaeology if you're AFKing, and you can kind of get away with it in that regard. But yeah, unfortunately didn't get lucky with any of the rare drops within these 13, so we'll jump over into the other rewards that we've got as well. one thing to quickly note is, of course, the amount of XP that you get in addition to completing and getting a load of GP from all of the extras. So you can see here the complete tomes, we can actually study them, and this is one thing that's actually really worth it when you're not only just training archaeology, but if you're combining it with the highest tier level archaeology grinds, then you can earn, 86,500 XP every single one. If you're grinding out 20 of them, you can get 1.6 million XP for free. Really, really easy. And of course, you can see us just grinding out, extra XP. I think I'm at like 118 million. We'll probably go for 200 million during the period of time that we're grinding out these Tetracompass keys. But there you go. Let's have a look at the actual other rewards in this video. Now then, jumping straight into the next caskets, you can see we're starting off with a pretty low amount, and you can see we're only getting 1.8 million. Of course, the key things that you're after is, of course, the Dragon Matic and the Shadowy Key, which unlocks the Tony's Matic, which you're probably not going to be able to get, but it's super rare, and of course, that is why. Now then, so opening up the next one, 3.7 million in that one, which is probably one of the highest that we've had today, which is super nice, and of course, having problems with the banking at the moment. So yeah, it's just an absolute pain. You can see super annoying, and actually I could have learned that I should just be opening them in the inbox because this was recorded before the one that you saw at the beginning, because yeah, this was pre-recorded, whereas the first one was live. So it's kind of one of those things that you'll get used to if you're doing it yourself, and of course I was just being a bot. So we're opening up, obviously getting extra XP. At this point, this was literally right after I got 120 Archaeology. You can see there probably the most expensive or the best one that we've just opened, because we got the Master in there. We also then got the Blue Charms and the Binding Contract, which if you combine them is actually super nice. Now, unfortunately, because of the bank space, we're going to have to join you back when I get enough space again. Now then, we've cleared that out and we managed to get another Master and some Hydric Bolt Tips, which is super nice. Of course, the more Masters we can get, they're probably on average about 2 million per Master. So, you can factor that in as well. Obviously, it takes some time to actually do that. You can get Triskelion pieces as well, not just the complete one like you saw earlier, but also the kind of fragments or parts of them, which is super nice as well. And of course, as we've talked about, you get a ton of XP in addition to them, so they really do benefit your account massively. And if you are trying to just complete a ton of archaeology collections at the same time, you're able to do that with this, which is one of my favorite things about it. So back to actually opening up these kind of rewards, or at least the journals, which are giving you yet again tons and tons of extra kind of XP. And so one thing that I really do implore you guys to do if you're thinking about training archaeology is save up your these journals so you can effectively open them when you get up the highest level. As you're going through, that's the best way to do it. You can see here, finishing up with a nice 2.7 million, and there you go, with an extra 3. So between every single casket, you're able to get approximately 1 or 2 of the kind of research journals, which you can just study and then get an extra like 80,000 XP per one if you're at the higher tier levels. If you're at the lower tier levels, they do scale, so comparably, they're probably pretty good either way, but really definitely one of the best ways to train archaeology is to pick the highest tier kind of level that you have, and also try and go for the Tetracompass piece logs if you can, which are the red rum relics, and I really do implore you to do that. You can also do the green gobbo goodies as well, which also give you them, but they typically require a ton more artifacts, so if you limit it to the smaller number, then it's easier to complete, and that's kind of where I'd go. Obviously, for all of these Tetracompass pieces and for the future, I will be doing the highest tier because we're going for 200 mil and it's super easy, and they're really easy ways of getting the actual artifacts themselves. Hopefully this video was a good indication as to what you think. You can see the results on screen right here as to how much we made from opening them, and then we're going to do a little quick price comparison to how much we would have had to spend on the artifacts per one. So you can see that all on screen. Hopefully that gives you a good overview as to what you think about the Tetracompass piece openings. it's probably not the best GP per hour, but it's in addition to actually training archaeology, which is the key thing. So yeah, making tons of money whilst actually training a skill that probably most people spend a lot of money on is a nice benefit. So hopefully you did enjoy. If you want to check out, of course, that Ripper Demon guide, which we talked about with the binding contracts, then take a look on the left-hand side of the screen. And on the right-hand side of the screen, there'll be skill guides and money-making guides that you can take a look at as well within RuneScape 3. So take a look at those, and I hope I'll join you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.